Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is Saturday, May 11th, 2024. I am Lance Brott. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and listening this morning. Unfortunately, no episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic last night to talk about SmackDown. But last night, SmackDown was in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania at the Mohegan Sun Arena. And the first round matches of the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring continued. We've seen Randy Orton defeat AJ Styles in a first round matchup. And of course, you know, whenever you have those two in a match together, it's going to be a good one. Was a little disappointed. I was hoping that AJ Styles would have got the win and advanced in the King of the Ring tournament. We also saw last night the women's tag team champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill advance. And we even saw Jade Cargill defeat Piper Niven, getting her up for Jaded. And I might talk a little more about SmackDown from last night on a future episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Maybe tonight, if I do an episode tonight recapping Collision, hopefully I will have more of a chance to talk about SmackDown. Just wanted to go over a couple of the main things that took place last night. And speaking of AEW Collision, let's talk about tonight's card. Collision will be live on TNT tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, at Rogers Arena. Tonight will feature an AEW TNT Championship. The Rated R Superstar Adam Copeland will be defending against Vancouver's own Kyle O'Reilly. Of course, this match came from Kyle O'Reilly making a save for Adam Copeland, and I guess you could say cashing in on the favor while Copeland was being attacked by the House of Black on Dynamite Wednesday. Also tonight, we will have one half of FTR, Dax Harwood, taking on Dynamite Kid Tommy Billington, who is the nephew of the Dynamite Kid. And American Dragon Bryan Danielson will team up with fellow Blackpool Combat Club member Claudio Castagnoli, and they will be in tag action against Top Flight. And right after Collision, we have an episode of Rampage at 10 p.m. Eastern. It is 3 hours of All Elite Wrestling tonight, 8 to 11 on TNT. And that is all for this Saturday morning episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. Thank you everyone for listening today as we get closer to Double or Nothing, just weeks away, May 26th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. Also, I just want to talk about an interesting rumor, I guess you could call it now, maybe some speculation that has started that's pretty exciting news, or at least for us here in Michigan, or, well, everybody actually. People do travel, but there's a chance WrestleMania 43 could be here in Detroit, which makes sense. WrestleMania 3 at the Silverdome, WrestleMania 23 at Ford Field, so it would make sense if they have, after another 20 years, WrestleMania back here in Detroit at Ford Field. And hopefully I might be able to make it to my first live WrestleMania. Unfortunately, I have not been to a WrestleMania live, and that is something that every pro wrestling nerd like myself should be able to do. So that is it for this Saturday morning episode of GMWF. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Hopefully we'll be back on with 360 Wrestling Fanatic tonight talking about Collision. But we'll be back tomorrow morning with the Sunday episode of GMWF. And until then, have a great pro wrestling day.